And anchor the sit bones into the earth, lift through the crown of the head, create some space between the discs. And just easing some of that pressure, feel yourself growing taller. And then from there, begin to turn the attention into the breath and just watch the belly rise and fall. And just for a few moments, keep it at a belly breath. So that means the inhale will expand the belly out wide, and the exhale will help you draw the navel back towards the spine as the muscles contract. Slow, mindful belly breathing. This is very much the same action that we would do during Kapalabhati, which we'll be practicing in a few moments. So it's just a manipulation of the diaphragm, concentration on the expansion on inhalation, contraction on exhalation. And in many ways, I think of this as just a beginning of a massage for the internal organs. You give them room and space as the breath comes in, and then a little bit of squeezing or massaging as the breath goes out. And try to keep the shoulders, upper neck, upper chest area relaxed as you do this. We spend a lot of time breathing in this upper region of the chest. It tends to stimulate the part of our nervous system that's in that fight or flight, the sympathetic. So by directing the breath down into the belly and breathing from there, we begin to activate more of the parasympathetic, or the calming part of our nervous system. And I wanted to begin this morning with a little Kapalabhati. Remember that Kapalabhati is more of a cleansing action than a pranayama, though it seems like a pranayama. And we use it to clear out anything that's stagnant. So remove, release any of the debris, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, that's been hanging around. Wintertime is a great time to practice Kapalabhati. So as we begin the practice, we'll visualize clearing not only our physical body, but also the energy body around us. And Kapalabhati is called the skull shining breath. And we tend to feel almost like an illumination around the head, similar to what we see in images of saints or sages. And once we cultivate that prana there, we're going to take it as a pranic bath and then bring it down through the body, and to the best of our ability, really feel that that prana is absorbing into every single cell. So it's cleansing anything out that isn't in that same vibration, and also uplifting or energizing each and every cell as it makes its way down to the toes. So let's just do 2 more breaths here with the belly breathing. And as you begin Kapalabhati, remember that it's short, forceful exhales out through the nostrils, and it's a pumping of the diaphragm. So as the diaphragm snaps back towards the spine, it naturally pushes the breath out through the nostrils, almost like if a fly were to come up your nose, you would kind of get it out really quickly, like a. But at the same time, because the exhale is so forceful, the inhale is passive. So we don't have to think as much about the inhale. And it is a 1-to-1 breath, so 1 forceful exhale to 1 passive inhale. So let's do our best to try that. We're going to start with a round of 36. Take a deep inhale in, fill the chest, ribs, belly, and exhale about 3/4 of the breath out, compressing the belly first, And then begin your Kapalabhati out through the nostrils, 36 rounds. Slow it down. Take a full inhale in. Hold at the top of the breath. Keep the spine tall and imagine that that prana, as you're holding it in, is soaking deeper into every single cell. And then exhale by contracting the abdomen first. Slowly let the breath leave the body. Just eliminating anything that needs to go. Okay, we're going to do that again. Now this time we're going to bring a little more visualization into that breath as a cleansing technique, that breath really pushing or clearing out anything that doesn't belong. So deep inhale in, this time a round of 64, so 3/4 of the breath out, and begin to pump the diaphragm. Slow it down. Deep inhale in. Fill the body with breath. Hold at the top of the inhale. See the prana soaking in, and now keep a little lift in the pelvic floor so that we don't dissipate any prana out through the base. And a little drawing in of the chin. Back of the neck feels long, so we don't allow the prana to dissipate up through the head. And we're going to really feel it circulating or absorbing here in the torso. Holding only to your capacity without strain. And then gently release when you need to. And again, see that release is just kind of clearing, sweeping away anything that needs to go. Okay, we're going to do one more. Follow the same pattern, but you can repeat either 64 or you can go to 108. If it becomes too much, certainly you could stop at any time and you'll follow the same pattern we've done. So take a deep inhale in. Exhale 3/4 of the breath out, and this is that really great opportunity to purge everything else here. Begin. Slow it down. Deep inhale in. Hold, soak prana in, lift pelvic floor, draw chin slightly in towards the sternal notch. Now sip a little more breath in, hold again. And gently relax when you feel necessary, so no strain. And take a moment to just observe that quality of skull shining. So greater illumination or a sense of light in the area around the head, maybe the whole body. And return to your easy breathing, easy belly breathing. And once again, continue to hold your gaze or hold the awareness of that light, illumination, prana in the area of the head. And absorb your mind more deeply into it. So letting the mind let go of anything else it's trying to think about so that it can merge completely with the light. Keep surrendering into it. And now once you get that good sense of light, not only inside but around the head, begin to, like a pranic bath, let that light slowly move down. So just a little suggestion here for it to descend. Maybe we see it move towards the throat, purifying, cleansing the throat. And see it move down through the shoulders, chest, upper arms. So you can suggest it to descend, but it moves at its own pace. So just stay in observation as it moves towards the heart, mid-arm, down towards the belly. Again, just cleaning and clearing a pathway and charging each and every cell. Down towards the hips, lower arms, hands. Into the pelvic floor and upper legs. Knees, lower legs, and ankles and feet. And there's no rush to get there, but when you are there, see and feel the whole body as pure, radiant light. And 2 more breaths here, just soaking into it. And it is from this place here that we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart and bow the head to the hands. Taking a moment to acknowledge the intelligence within us, the higher self, and offering gratitude for the tools that help us to remember. And so we're going to be working with a little bit of that cleaning, clearing out today, a little cleansing practice. If there's anything in your life right now that's asking for you to do that, and that can be physical, mental, or emotional, and please bring that into your intention now. And then place that here in your heart. And surround it with unconditional love. And we're going to begin with a chant of Om 3 times. Remember the Ah, O, and Ah vibrating the lower portion of the spine. O middle and upper. And also understanding or recognizing the relationship between the light and the vibration. So deep inhale in. And take a long exhale out. Deep inhale in. And just lower your chin to your chest. And rub your hands together to create some friction and warmth through the palms. Get them good and warm. And when you get that heat going, then just cup the eyes with the hands. So just a little pranic bath there for the eyes. Just soak that in, particularly if we've been spending a lot of time in front of screens, just to re-energize the cells there. And then just a little massage as you open your eyes, kind of come back into the room, temples, cheeks, jaw. And then we'll begin in tabletop position. So keeping that same awareness we developed just a moment ago, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the floor. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees, bring the arms up and over the head, lift and lengthen through your core, and then exhale, take the hands to the sacrum and bring the forehead to the floor. Inhale, the arms reach out wide as you lift and rise, standing on the knees again. And then exhale, arms stay overhead as you bow down to child's pose, navel to spine, forehead to mat. Inhale, come up into tabletop, heart lift, sit bones lift. Reaching the heart forward, sit bones are extending. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels for child's pose. Inhale, stand on the knees, bring both arms up and over the head from the front. And then exhale, take the hands to the sacrum and bring the forehead to the floor. Inhale, stand on the knees again. Arms reach out wide as you lift and rise. And then exhale, bow down to child's pose, sit bones to heels. Inhale again, tabletop position, heart lift, sit bones lift. Keep a little lift in the lower belly so you don't dump weight into the low back. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine. A little bend in the elbows here as you go back will help open up the upper back. Inhale, stand on the knees. Arms reach up and over the head. Feel that length along the front body. Exhale, hands to sacrum, forehead to floor. Navel contracts. Inhale, stand on the knees again. Arms reach out wide as you lift and rise. And exhale, child's pose. And this time we'll stay down. So sit bones to heels. Reach the arms as far forward as they'll go. Come up onto the fingertips. Let the heart dip. And relax your forehead deeply into the mat. Draw the tips of your shoulder blades down your back slightly so you feel a little engagement there and the shoulder heads away from the ears. Palms can become flat. Elbows can soften into the ground and just breathe. So same breathing pattern. I'm going to bring chest, ribs, belly, exhaling belly, ribs, chest. Good. Hands walk to the right. Press the left sit bone down, bow the rib cage. See if you can stretch into areas that feel tight. Let the inhale help to increase that sensation and exhale to soften it. And one more here. And then move to the other side and do the same thing. So over to the left, let the right sit bone soften down. Bow the right rib cage now and notice if there's a difference between your right and left sides. Keep softening the tops of your shoulders. Last one. And then come back to center. From center, we're going to bring our elbows down into the mat, wrap the hands around the middle part of the arms, and interlace the fingers and press the forearms down. If you prefer, you can spread the hands wide, tuck the back toes under, lift the sit bones up and back for dolphin. So we'll stay here in dolphin for just a few moments. Feet are be about hip distance apart, toes turned in and slightly heels out. Roll your inner thighs in and back and allow the sit bones to spread. Bend one knee and press the other heel down, stretching a little deeper into one leg over the other. And now bend the other knee and press the other heel down. And then keep going back and forth a few times, opening up the backs of the legs. And then we're going to wiggle our toes back about 2-3 inches. As you exhale, take your chest over your forearms, tailbone under, lower belly lifts, and then inhale, lift the sit bones back up. Repeat it again. Exhale, chest over forearms, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Inhale, reach back up. So with these dolphin push-ups, as you move over the arms, contract the abdomen. Inhale. The natural suction will come in and up from gravity. Exhale. Inhale. Keep going with your breath, please. And it doesn't take too many of these to really feel the work of them. So shoulders and core and back. One more. Then bring the sit bones up and back, knees to floor, sit bones to heels, child's pose once again, and then take the hands towards the heels for embryo. So just rounding the upper back, letting the shoulders soften down towards the floor. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows bent, and forehead down into the mat. We're just going to do a little massage here for the forehead and crown. So you're just going to roll around in a circle, like you were drawing a circle with the head. But the hands are there to support you, so there's really not much pressure on the head at all. It's just like a little massage. Be gentle with it. And then once you've rolled in one direction, roll in the other direction. And just nice, gentle massage there. Very nice. And then sit back on your heels. Take your fingertips, point them towards your hips, and now press down into the hands and just lift up the heart. Feel that stretch along the front body. Feel the stretch along the tops of the shoulders, the chest, all that space. Deep breaths in, full chest, ribs, belly breathing. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. One more here. Now we're going to sit back into the tall seated position, but if it's comfortable for you, well, it's not very comfortable, but if it's available to you, I should say, tuck your back toes under and sit on your heels. So sometimes they call this broken toe pose. It's not everybody's favorite, but it's this idea of stretching through the metatarsals, and it can be very helpful. So in order to make this a little more tolerable, let's do some shoulder stretches at the same time. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our back into Yoga Mudra. Pull the knuckles away, and now take the hands to your right waist. Bring your right elbow back, and then tilt your right ear to your right shoulder, and just stretch through the neck, upper back. Should feel really good here. So whole time still feeling the sensation in the toes. And then we'll stay on the toes, but we'll take the hands back into Yoga Mudra again, and then bring them to your left waist. And bring your left elbow back, and now tilt left ear to left shoulder. And again, just notice, is one side of the neck tighter than the other? Maybe one shoulder tighter. Breathe into it. Good. Last one. And one more time, we'll bring the head to neutral, take the hands back, and now just let them go. And you're probably feeling those toes, so we'll gently come off the pressure of the toes, place them flat, and you can either just sit tall on the heels and let that work itself out, or if you want to go a little deeper, you can lean back on the toes and stretch them in the opposite direction. So you'll lift the knees off the floor and just stretch the feet in the opposite direction. All right, very nice. Tabletop position. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Flex through the heel of the foot. As you exhale, take your knee to your chest, elbow to the knee, contract the core. Inhale, extend away again, flex heel away from fingertips. Exhale, like a little mini crunch, pull everything into the center. Inhale, keep going with your breath. As you exhale, belly button moves towards the spine. As you inhale, more room, more length. Notice the strength of the core here. Try to maintain balance. Good, one more. Inhale away, exhale in. And then extend the arm, extend the leg first, and then find tabletop position. And just take a moment to find your balance. So equal pressure in hands and knees. Let's do the other side, left arm, right leg. Extend first, flex through the heel of the foot. Exhale, knee to chest, elbow to knee, crunch everything in and up. Inhale away again. So keep going with your breath. Exhale, navel is drawn to the spine. Inhale, lengthen away. Use your Ujjayi breathing. Steady gaze. And notice if this is building some heat. So activating that core, getting that heat going, that fire going is very helpful for that cleaning and clearing out. One more. And we'll extend away and find tabletop position again. Very nice. So inhale, lift heart, lift sit bones, look up. And exhale, tuck the toes. For downward facing dog, we're not going to stay here very long. Dolphin is very similar to down dog. So same principles, toes in, heels out, inner thigh rolls in and back. Sit bones lift up and away. You want to imagine someone has a towel wrapped around your waist and is pulling your hips up and away from you. But in your upper body, this is the key. Roll the shoulder heads away from the ears. Hug the inner elbows toward one another like you're holding up a block. And press firmly through the web of the index and thumb. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. Make sure you're not gripping in the neck in any way. Stabilize your breath. And then walk your hands back to your feet, starting with 6 inches. Stop and stay. Anchor deeply into the feet. Maybe the heels come down now. Maybe they're still up a little bit. That's okay. You can always have that micro bend in your knee. After a complete breath, come back another 6 inches. More weight in the feet. Lift the hips higher, elongating the backs of the legs. Navel hugs in and up. Walk back another 6. Now most of the weight's in the legs and feet, and the upper body almost feels like it's just hinging from the hips or hanging over the legs. Upper body's soft. And then hands back another 6. Almost completely to the toes, but not quite there yet. And then finally, fingertips lined up with the toes. If that's not possible, you can always place your hands on blocks to bring the floor up to you. Little micro bend in the knee is perfectly fine. And make sure we're not sinking too far in the heels. You want to come forward just a little bit in the balls of the feet. Now hands onto the backs of the thighs. We're going to do some dynamic monkey, but we're going to do a little different than we're used to. So inhale, you're going to lift the chest away from the thighs and pull the elbows back. Flatten out the spine. It should feel like a back bend. And then exhale, the navel hugs in, slide the hands back down the legs as you forward fold. Repeat it again. Inhale, slide the hands up the legs, squeeze the elbows behind you so the heart is really open. And then exhale, the navel to the spine as you slide your hands back down the legs and forward fold. Keep going, inhaling, exhaling. You can always keep that micro bend in the knee the whole time, so we're not going to overstretch the back of the leg. And even though we feel the legs in this posture, we're really worried about what's happening in the spine. And we want to make sure that we flatten out that curve, get that extension before we go back into the forward bend. Two more. Make sure that as you come up, the chin does not jut forward. And last one will come up and stay up. And extend the arms out wide, flip the palms as you press into the feet, stand the rest of the way up, arms reach up and over the head, and then exhale the arms out wide and down by your side, and then just find Samastiti. Take a moment to just let all that settle. And again, just like that pranic bath, we were inverted slightly here for a while, so feel the prana, the energy, like a bath just moving down through the body. Again, cleansing, clearing out, and energizing everything in its path. Okay, so we're going to do our prana vayu sun salutations here at the back of the mat. Feet to be hip distance apart or slightly wider. Hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, you'll either sink into chair or keep going down towards squat. And then inhale, come into tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. And exhale, walk back to downward facing dog. Right leg forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat for warrior one. Heel to heel alignment, hips squared, inhale as you come up. And then exhale, straighten the front leg and lengthen over that leg as you come down for pyramid. Fingers on either side of the foot or blocks, pivot on the ball of the back foot. High lunge, shin bone away from heel. And exhale to downward facing dog. So first round, we'll modify the vinyasa. Inhale, knees to floor. Lift the toes behind you, squeeze the elbows tight. Chaturanga, tops of the feet ground. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for low cobra. And then exhale, navel up and back, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Left leg forward to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat for warrior one. Heel to heel, hips are squared, front knee bent as you inhale, reach. And then exhale, straighten the front leg. Keep those hips squared as you lengthen over that leg, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot, high lunge, shin bone away from heel. And exhale to downward facing dog. So we're going to take 5 full breaths here in down dog. Remember those alignment principles we already worked. But particularly in the upper body, shoulder heads rolling away from ears, creating space and room for the neck. As you create more and more space in the body, the breath is able to reach into new areas. Prana rides on the breath. Okay, as you finish your last exhale, bring your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift, tabletop. Exhale, walk back to squat. You can stay on the balls of the feet here. Feet are forward, hands at the heart center. Inhale, rise up to standing. Heels can come down. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold over the legs and hook your index middle thumb around your big toe. You can bend your knees as much as you need to do that. Inhale, pull your chest away from your thighs. Straighten arms, straighten spine, and only if you can, straighten legs. Exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Inhale, release the hands and lean back to chair. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, stay and sink just a little deeper, like you're going back into squat. And then press into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up, lengthening the front body, and exhale, hands to the heart. So that's one round. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink into chair or squat. Inhale to come forward to tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And right leg steps forward to the fingers for warrior one. Heel to heel, inhale as you rise. Exhale as you straighten the front leg, squeeze the muscle to the bone, and now lengthen over that leg, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge. Heart comes forward, and then exhale, downward facing dog. This time, inhale to plank position. See if you can leave the knees lifted for chaturanga. Inhale, then you roll into upward facing dog. And exhale the navel up and back for downward facing dog. Left leg goes through. Spin the back foot flat. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale, straighten. Lengthen over that front leg, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot, high lunge, heart comes forward. And exhale to downward facing dog, taking our 5 full breaths here. Notice if there's any areas you're not breathing into and see if you can send the breath there. 2 more. Use your Ujjayi breathing. Good. On your next exhale, inhale your knees to the floor. Heart lift, sit bones lift for tabletop, and then exhale, you're walking back to squat. Hands at the heart, inhale, rise up to standing, parallel the feet, exhale, forward fold over the legs. Hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, pull your chest away from your thighs. Create as much room and space as you can. Exhale, bend your knees, fold more deeply into it. Inhale, lean back to chair. Arms reach overhead. Stay for that exhale like you're going down into squat. And then inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart. One more round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink into chair or squat. Inhale, come into tabletop position, spread the collarbones wide. Exhale, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. Right leg forward, spin the back foot flat, heel to heel. Inhale as you rise up for warrior one. And exhale as you straighten. Keep the hips squared forward as you lengthen all the way over the leg. Fingertips to the floor. Inhale, pivot for high lunge. Heart comes forward. And exhale to downward facing dog. This time, if you want to challenge your vinyasa, bring your feet together. Stay on the balls of the feet the whole time. And as you inhale, come through plank position into up dog. So exhale, chaturanga. Then go back into upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Left leg forward. Warrior one on this side. Inhale as you rise. Exhale as you straighten and fold. Inhale, pivot. High lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog again. 5 full breaths here. And then bring your knees to the floor. Inhale, tabletop position. Heart lift, sit bones lift. And exhale, walk back to squat. Keep the feet parallel, hands at the heart center. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. And hook the index, middle thumb around your big toes. Inhale, pull away. Elongate the spine. Exhale, fold more deeply over the legs. Inhale, lean back to chair. Arms reach overhead. Stay for the exhale, sink deeper. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. So, standing in mountain pose, just take a moment to feel some of that warmth moving through the body. And observe the effects of the practice. And instead of avoiding the heat, feel it instead penetrating throughout the body, cleansing and clearing anything in its path. Okay, we're going to revisit that Kapalabhati breath. So you want to make sure that your breath is nice and stable. If you're not there yet, take a few more moments in Samastiti to establish your even breath. And then we're going to bring your hands to mid-thigh. And we're going to practice Kapalabhati differently through pursed lips. So you're going to make like fish lips. And you're going to practice the Kapalabhati out through the mouth. We're only going to do a round of 36. And then we're going to stay there and just take a moment. But you got to make sure that the spine is straight and chin is in and that pelvic floor lifts. So similar to what we were practicing in the morning pranayama. So let's take a full inhale in here. And again, we'll exhale about 3/4 of the breath out. Now short, forceful exhales out through pursed lips. Slow it down, in and out through the nose. Very nice. And now we'll bring our hands a little higher up to mid-thigh. Again, arms stay straight. Full breath in. Exhale 3/4 of the breath out. And short, forceful exhales out through pursed lips. Another round of 36. Slow it down. Stay. Easy inhale, easy exhale. And then the last one, we're going to take the heels of the hands right to the crease of the hip and thigh. So we're almost entirely straight here, but we still have that pelvic floor lift and that chin drawing in. Full breath in. 3/4 of the breath out. Another round of 36. Slow it down. And now when you feel comfortable, take your time. Come into standing, arms by your side. If it's comfortable, close your eyes or have a soft gaze. But just observe, again, the warmth, maybe a little skull shining, some heat generated by the light. Very nice. So we're still here at the back of our mats. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend the knees. Coming down into chair pose, contract the abdomen, let the chest forward fold over the legs, and then inhale the arms behind you like wings. Exhale, bring just the arms through, and then inhale as you lean back to chair, keeping the knees bent. Repeat it again. Exhale, you're softening over the legs. Inhale, arms behind you, palms face up like wings. Exhale, just the arms come through. And it's an inhale as you lean back to chair. Keep going with your breath here, please. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale as you come back up. 2 more, please. On the last one, you're going to slowly come up to standing and then just bring the arms down by your side and observe. So we're going to turn the left toes out to a slight angle and step the right foot forward to a comfortable distance. You want to have about 2.5, 3 foot stance, but hips squared forward. So we're going to really feel as if it's easy to maintain that. And that if you have to widen your stance to accommodate the width of your hips, then just step the foot out a little bit in order to do so. If you're feeling tight in the legs today, you may want to have a block nearby. This is the option, blocks nearby. You can place your blocks on either side of your foot. That will help you. Or you may want to have at least one come by because we're going to go into a twist. So hands are going to start on the sacrum. Inhale the left arm up. Micro bend the front knee. And exhale, come down all the way. So you're going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen over that front leg. And hands going to come to the floor. Now we're going to switch out the hands. So left to the sacrum. Right arm in alignment with the ear. That's the hardest part, is to counter gravity here. Come back up into standing. And then repeat that again. Exhale, going over the leg. Lengthen through the side body as you come down. Once you get to the bottom, you're going to switch out the hands. Right to the sacrum, left arm in alignment with the ear. Inhale, come all the way up, and now we're on the same side we started, so that's one complete round. Let's do that again. Exhale, lengthen over the leg. Switch. Right arm in alignment with the ear. Press down, come up, inhaling. Exhale, lengthening down and over. Switch out the hands, Arm in alignment with the ear. Try to flatten that back as much as you can as you come up. Good. Again, last one. Exhaling down. So you can see the exhale helps to take you into the posture, but the inhale gives you the energy, the prana, the upliftment to extend back up. Exhale, lengthen. Switch out the hands. And inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Now, exhale, lengthen over that front leg. And this time, we're going to go into the posture to stay. So here's where you may want to have the blocks on either side, hands on either side of the leg. Both hands can be down. And let the upper body really hang over that front leg. Now, I found that the leg that you have more sensation in, that's usually the leg you're backing off of. And it'll give a little bit of a shift to the hips. So if you can lean into the leg with more sensation, that will usually square the hips off. Now, either way, wherever you're at, just bring the mind into the sensation and breathe. Notice if there's gripping or tension, keep letting go. See if you can soften just a little bit more. Now, if your hands are on the floor or on your blocks, you're just going to plant them down in a finger stand. Sweep the leg up in the air for just a moment. So you're just going to stretch it out. It's almost like a short three-legged down dog. If you don't need to be on the finger stand, you can always have the palm flat. And then we're going to swing the leg right back into the same position. Now take your block about to the outside of your right foot. Left hand on the block, right hand onto the sacrum. If that's too intense, keep the block under the shoulder, hand under the shoulder. We're going to move into the twist. So either position, lift your chest away from your thighs, squeeze the inner thighs toward one another, and rotate the navel to the right. Keep anchoring through your back heel for more support, and hand can stay on the sacrum unless you're feeling comfortable today and you want to take it up in the air. Now think of elongating your spine. So how can I create more room, more length through my vertebrae? And in that length, maybe find a little more twist. Keep breathing, keep contracting the abdomen on exhalation. One more. So you can think of us like wringing out, squeezing out any of that toxicity that resides there in the gut. And then soften down, back over the leg, surrender just like you were a moment ago, with or without blocks. And then step that foot back and walk your hands back 6 inches and stay. Just like we did before, head and neck is going to soften. Walk them back another 6 inches and stay. Give into that warmth and stretch along the side, back side of the leg. Walk your hands back another 6 inches. And bring your hands to your hips and scoop your heart to standing. And rest in Samastiti for a moment and really take in the difference in sensation between the right side and the left. Okay, we're going to do the other side now. So right toes turn at a slight angle. Left leg steps forward to a comfortable distance, about 2.5, 3 feet. And your hips are squared forward. Internal rotation of your back thigh. Again, if you need to accommodate the width of your hips for more stability, please do so. Hands are going to start on the sacrum. Inhale the right arm up. You can keep a micro bend in that front knee as you exhale. Lengthen over the leg and think of stretching or lengthening or being pulled as you go down. And then switch out the hands. Left arm in alignment with the ear. Press down into the feet. Come all the way back up. And then exhale. You're going to lengthen down on this side. Like someone's pulling your arm away from you. Switch it out. Right arm in alignment with the ear. Try to flatten that back as best you can and then come up. That's only one round. We've got 2 more complete rounds. Exhale. Switch it out. Use the inhale to come up. Inhale. Exhale. Switch it out. Use the inhale to come up. Inhale. One more round. Exhale. Inhale. Push into the feet. Create that length. Exhale. Switch it out. Inhale. Now this time you're going to exhale and go down to stay. So you're still going to lengthen. It's like someone's pulling your arm away from you. As much space in the torso as possible, and then hands go on the floor on your blocks. Now again, when we forward fold, you might find that one leg has more sensation, and you can lean into one or the other to try to feel that. And whichever one has more, just lean into that leg a little bit, and usually that's enough to square the hips off. Head and neck stays relaxed. Keep allowing the layers of the body to soften. Navel hugs the back body. Give in. Remember, it's actually accessing the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming part of our nervous system, that activates digestion. That's what helps us to metabolize, to clean and clear out. One more breath here. Really let go. Now we're going to just give that little bit of relief for the legs. So you're coming into finger stand with your fingers, and you're going to sweep the left leg up in the air. Just kind of lets that drain out. If you don't need the finger stand, just place the palms flat. That's fine. It's almost like a short three-legged dog. So breathe here. Just gives a little pressure, a little release from that left leg. And now swing it right back into position. And we're going to set ourselves up for the twist. So again, block can go to the outside of the left foot or under the shoulder, right hand down, left hand to sacrum. So as you lift the torso up, you want to create that elongation of the vertebrae. Navel now rotates to the left. And maybe just keeping the hand on the sacrum is the right place for you today. You can feel if the body's stable, and if the shoulder feels open, then take the arm up. Breathing here, keep pulling the abdomen in on exhalation and rotating it deeper to the left. The more room you have in the spine, the easier the twist will be. And gently soften over the front leg. Surrender there for just a moment. Find balance. And then you're going to sweep that leg back, and we'll walk our hands back another 6 inches and stop and stay. Weight into the feet, another 6 inches back. Upper body's just hanging here, another 6. And then finally, bring your hands to your hips, press equally into both feet, scoop the heart as you rise, and then Samastiti. And you'll just experience here for a moment the balance of both right and left sides. Very nice. So we'll take a vinyasa. Staying here at the back of the mat, inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold navel to spine. And inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. So you can just slide your hands up at the shins if you'd like. Exhale, step forward now into plank position. And if you need to bring the knees to the floor to squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga, please do so. If the knees are down, coming into cobra. Otherwise, upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Stay in down dog for 3 breaths. Enjoying the symmetry, the balance we feel. and using the heat that we're cultivating in our practice to find greater depth. Last breath. Now bring your feet together, come onto the balls of the feet, and reach the right leg up in the air. And then exhale the left heel down and open that knee up. So as you stack right hip over left, you're going to bend the knee and draw the heel to the glutes. Try to stay even in the hands and shoulders to the best of your ability. Unless you want to slide the left forearm down, push into the ball of the front foot. You can activate the arch of the foot, press to the outside edge of the back foot. Arms in alignment with the shoulders. Gaze over the middle finger. Keep absorbing the tailbone into the body, lifting the lower belly for more inner body support. So we're going to inhale dynamically here. Lift the right arm up, take the left hand back behind you, and then exhale, move into side angle. Forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over the head. Repeat that again. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over the head. One more, inhale, reverse. Exhale. Now inhale back to warrior two. Stay for the exhale. We're going to place the right hand on the thigh. And as we bring the left arm around, we're also going to bring the hip and side body around for twisting side angle. Now this is very deep. You're going to place the forearm on the thigh, hands into prayer, or fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top. If it's too intense, you can always pivot on the ball of the back foot so you're not tweaking the knee in any way. Now, if you can keep that back foot grounded, it's a very deep twist. So inhale, get as long as you can through your spine. Exhale, pull the abdomen in and rotate it to the right. Use your breath, ujjayi breathing. Leverage of the arms helps to keep the chest open, allows you to concentrate more on what's happening in the core. One more breath here. Now we're going to release and slowly walk the right toes in to the center of our mat and forward fold through our legs. Head and neck is relaxed here. Fingertips can line up with the toes. Crown of the head comes towards the earth as the elbows bend. Make sure you're not sinking in your heels, but bring the weight forward just a little bit in the balls of the feet. Those of you that can touch the crown of the head to the earth, or if you're really close, you can widen your stance a little bit and then just get that stimulation that we had at the beginning of the practice there on the crown. If you are not very close, but you have a block, you can always place a block under your head. Breathe here. In many ways, this feels just like a headstand. Last one. Now, fingertips come underneath the shoulders, lift the torso. Heel toe your feet in so that it's not so wide, and bring your hands to your hips. Scoop your heart as you come back to standing. And then we're just going to switch the feet out. So now the left foot is straight. Heel moves to the inner arch of the right foot. If you need to lengthen your stance again, you can just wiggle them back a little bit. Inhale the arms long, bend into the front knee. Make sure the knee doesn't collapse on the inside of the ankle. So as your feet stay activated, tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. We want to have a buoyancy in the pelvis, so an inner body lift. And then on your inhale, backhand to thigh, reverse it, left arm goes up and over the head. And then it's an exhale as you bring the forearm to the thigh, right arm up and over the head. Good, do it again. Inhale, reverse, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. One more, inhale. Now we're going to come back up into that warrior two position. Inhale. And here's where we're going to take the left hand to the thigh. We've got to rotate shoulder and hip around. So the whole torso is going to rotate, and elbow sits on top of the left thigh. Fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top, or hands in prayer. And if it's too intense on your knee, make sure you pivot on the ball of the back foot so you're not going to create any tension there. If you can keep the foot flat, it's a nice deep twist. So maintain that. Keep squeezing the navel to the left. Rotate deeper. Full breath, so don't hold the breath while you're in the twist. Find a way to relax. Only the areas that need to be working are working. The rest is soft. One more. Now release the fingertips down. Once again, you're going to turn those toes in and come into that wide foot spreading posture. Line the fingertips up with the toes, bend the elbows through the legs, get the crown of the head to the earth. If you're close, widen your stance. If you are not very close, but you have a block, place your head on the block. Now, we're going to stay here like this is an inversion. But if you have the flexibility, you certainly can bring your elbows down into the mat, wrap your hands around the middle part of the arms, interlace the fingers, and prepare for headstand. So the head is going to go into the hands, body weight comes forward, press into the forearms, and take the legs out wide, coming up into headstand, and then legs overhead. Make sure there's not too much pressure on the head. You can always push down into the forearms and release the head completely from the floor. That would be in the case if you felt like you were going to lose your balance. Now, if you're choosing to do headstand here, keep the inner thighs hugging the midline of the body. Breath is steady. Otherwise, if your feet are wide and you have the crown touching the floor or block, feel the same sensation as you would for headstand. Ujjayi breathing. Just a few more breaths. Now to come out, you're going to widen the legs. Slowly bring them back down. Foot spreading posture, fingers in alignment with the toes, gentle pressure on the crown of the head. Breathe here. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders and let the blood level out. So you want to have that torso lifted to about horizontal. And then we're going to heel toe the feet in so that we can come into a wide squat. So toes out, heels in, and then bring the head the rest of the way up. And as you do, hands to heart, elbows on the insides of the knees. And now just rest here. Let the pelvic floor open. You can close the eyes if you prefer. Keep that soft gaze. Two more breaths. Very nice. And then just bring your hips down to the floor and take the legs out in front of you, preparing for Dandasana staff pose. So hands on either side of the hips, flex the feet. Keep the legs engaged. So you want to squeeze the muscle to the bone. You're pushing down through the hands to the best of your ability. And if your arms are really long, you can take your hands back behind you. You want those palms as flat as possible. Keep the inner thighs hugging the midline so the feet stay straight. And just enjoy this elongation of the spine. So we've done a lot of work here on twisting and opening the spine up. And we just inverted it, so now we want to feel as much space and length as possible. One more breath here. And we're going to move into reverse plank. So you can do it in two ways. You can bend the knees and have the feet flat, just like you're preparing for a reverse table. Fingertips point towards the hips, and then absorb the tailbone into the body and lift the lower belly. And you can stay there. If you want to come into reverse plank, you're going to keep the legs together and reach out through the balls of the feet and spread the toes. So think of that like pushing the gas pedal. Fingertips point towards the hips, reach down into the feet, and now come into that reverse plank without dropping the head entirely. You can still keep the chin lifted and open up the throat, but that back side of the body really hugs the front side of the body. One more breath here. And then bring the hips down. Sit back into Dandasana, internal rotation of the thighs. Engage the legs, press the palms flat, breathe. One more here. And so engaging your core, extend your arms out. You can bend back, feet flat into the floor, and extend both legs into bow pose. If it's too intense to do that, you're certainly welcome to bring the hands underneath the knees and use the hands to hold the body up. But again, this idea of strengthening the core, breathing here, developing that warmth so that you can aid in digestion. Two more breaths. Don't bring the tension in the face or the jaw, the shoulders, the arms. And those of you that are very flexible for these last few moments, if you want to hook your index, middle thumb around your big toes, you can hold on to the legs and move into more of a back bend. So you're going to pull the legs as close to the body as possible, and again, look up. And breathe here. Now, as you release the toes, see how much you can maintain of that height. And then we'll slowly bring the legs back down. Dandasana, hands beside the hips. Again, tall spine. Okay, so Janu Shirsasana. We're just going to take the left leg out to the side at a slight angle. And then take the right foot to the inner thigh as close to the perineum as possible. Inhale the arms long. Exhale, rotate the navel over the left leg, and now soften down over that leg. Your hands can come to shin, ankle, foot, floor. If you're really flexible, you can reach around and grab the wrist with the opposite hand. Inhale, grow as long as you can first, and then exhale, melt into the posture and stay. Now, just like those other postures, you want to feel the body unwinding. Keep releasing the breath, releasing the tension. Two more here. And slowly come up. Take the right hand back behind you. Open up into what feels almost like a wild thing. So you're going to lift the hips off the floor, just stretch along the whole body. You want to do some rotations there for the shoulder. You can do a full arm rotation. And then slowly come back down, and we'll switch sides. So right leg out to a slight angle, left foot to the inner thigh as close to the perineum as possible. Again, if you need to rotate the flesh in and down, grab onto it and flex the right foot. Keep that engaged. We don't want it tilting out to the side. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, rotate the navel over the right leg. And exhale, come down and rest. Again, shin, ankle, foot, floor, wherever you're comfortable is perfectly fine. Whatever bind you do have, take a moment to come up, elongate as best as possible, and then soften down one more time. And if you're really flexible, you can take one hand and reach around for the opposite wrist. Keep surrendering, keep letting go. And then slowly take your time to come up. And once again, we're going to plant the left hand behind us. Press down into the feet. Come on up into what feels like a reverse or a modified wild thing. As you lift the hips, you can make small rotations there through the chest, through the shoulder. Should feel really good. And then gently come back down. And last one is to bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, if you need to prop your sit bones up in a blanket, please use one. You can either hook the index, middle thumb around the big toes or wrap the hands around the feet. Let the heart come forward through the shoulders, chin in. Breathe deeply here. Close the eyes if you'd like. Once again, see and feel yourself surrounded by that light, that prana. Maybe even witnessing it here inside every single cell. Having detoxed or released that which doesn't serve. What we do is return back to our pure potentiality, radiant light, pure love, health, well-being. So if you'd like here, you can forward fold. Maybe the elbows can press into the calves. And try not to round the upper back too much. You let the head and neck be soft. Heart stays forward. Breathe deeply. We want to make sure that that heart is open. One more. And then lean back and release. Hands can come on either side of the knees. I'm going to make our way down towards the floor. So You can put your socks and sweaters on now if you'd like, if you need to stay warm for Shavasana. We'll do a couple gentle closing poses. As you come down, be mindful of pulling the navel towards the spine and hug your knees into your chest into Apanasana. Just to make sure the back is happy, we're going to have our hands on top of our knees and inhale the knees away just to arm's distance. And exhale the knees back to the chest. And do that a few more times, inhaling away just to arm's distance. Exhale back to chest, and you're just rolling over that sacral bone there. Very gentle. If you follow the rhythm of your breath, you move very slow. And we want to establish a nice steady rhythm of breathing here. Something that's comfortable and returns us back to that calming part of our nervous system. One more. Knees are going to go now over to the left as you look to your right. Can you stack the knees one on top of the other? And now gaze over the middle finger of the right hand, palm open, arm extended out to the side. So we get the full twist from the base of the spine all the way through the cervical spine. Keep softening the belly button back towards the spine so the right shoulder sinks a little deeper. And now come back to center and we'll switch, taking the knees over to the right side. Try to keep them together, stacked. And then left arm opens out. Palm faces up. Gaze over that middle finger of the left hand. And each time you exhale, navel sinks back towards the back body, left shoulder draws more deeply into the earth. Last breath here. And then you're going to come back to center. Knees to the chest one more time. And prepare for Shavasana. So final relaxation. If you'd like, you can put eye pillows on or blanket on. Anything you need. If you're feeling any tenderness in your back, you certainly are welcome to put a bolster or rolled up blanket under your knees. That will help to release any low back tension. And then just settle down deeply into the earth. Shoulder blades can tuck underneath you. Palms are open. And feet are a little wider than hip distance apart. Take a moment to take a deep inhale in through the nose and a sigh through the mouth. Do that 2 more times. Each time feel yourself settle deeper. And just completely relax. Let the lips part slightly. Allow the body to feel held by the earth. And as you're resting, just aware that the body is constantly trying to return back to homeostasis, a state of health and well-being. So that as you rest, the intelligence within you knows exactly what to do with everything that's just been released. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath, but maintain that state of deep rest. And then start to draw your thumb across your fingertips. Wiggle your toes. And roll your wrists and your ankles. And without rushing, just bring your knees into your chest and curl over onto your right side into fetal position. Placing your left hand into the earth, slowly come back up into seated. Head and neck heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And if you'd like, you can prop your sit bones up for a few moments of meditation. So tall spine, relaxed body. And take a moment to go back to the feeling we had at the beginning of the practice, experience of prana. Remember the feeling of that skull shining effect. Light surrounding not just the head, but the whole upper body. And as that feeling returns, absorb yourself in the light. You know, the Yoga Sutras say that this light is beyond all sorrow. No pain and suffering can touch this place. So if we can access this on a daily basis with a regular, steady practice, it provides great stability in our lives. As we treat our bodies like temples, giving it only the best food, nourishing relationships, nourishing activities, then it's easier for us to find this inner light. The cleaner, the clearer we are, the more quickly we can access it. And if we really understood the gift that we've been given with this vehicle that we walk around in, we really could take that in. If our minds could even comprehend it, we would treat it with the same tenderness that we treat a newborn baby. So bring your hands back together in front of your heart and bow your head to your hands. And just thank yourself for carving out some time today to do your practice, to treat yourself well. Go back to the intention that was set, cleaning, clearing out, as we begin to move closer and closer to spring equinox. beginning of the detoxification as we prepare to head into the warmer months. And let's finish this practice just with Om Shanti 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 Hi. Peace, peace, peace. Take a deep inhale in and a long exhale out. Another deep inhale in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. If you'd like to see more of this content, please go in the description below and click on the Patreon account. If you choose one of the tiers from the Patreon account, you gain access to more classes, more teachings, more snippets and videos. Also, please like and subscribe and share this video with anyone that you think could also benefit. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Namaste.